Hi, welcome to Lorenzo's Kitchen. I'm Lorenzo Thornberry, and this afternoon we're going to prepare acorn squash soup. So at this point, we've prepared the acorn squash by cutting it into quarters, placing it in a steamer, and steaming it for about 25 minutes. Before that, I scooped out all of the seeds and the little snewy stuff in the middle and put that in the garbage. Although you can separate the seeds if you're so inclined and have the patience and roast them and eat them. They're actually good. So what we have here is, after I steamed the acorn squash, I scooped it away from the peeling, and now we have some nice acorn squash puree. Just waiting for our soup. Okay, and so now we're going to saute a few things. We're going to saute some celery, some carrots. We got some garlic, some cloves of garlic, and some ginger. Going to put a bay leaf in the mix there, a little cilantro as well. Okay, and of course some onion. So first, to get started, we heat the pan first, and that makes the pan less sticky, makes things less stick to the pan. All this kind of a pan is a non-stick pan. But if you were using like a stainless steel pan, you would want to get that stainless steel pan hot first before you added the oil, and that would keep things from sticking to it. So first thing we're going to do, I like to use this little garlic press here, is we're going to put this garlic in here. There we go. And what I like to do is I like to use kind of the low heat setting on this. It's not really low, but it's kind of medium low. And what that does is it keeps things from burning, and things will cook right along. You know, unless you really want to brown something. This is a really good setting to use for sauteing things. Now, what I like to do with the ginger is just a little piece of ginger. I like to put that right in that garlic press also. And so when I press that, the little ginger juice comes out. Pieces of ginger come out. I just scoop that off right there, right into the mix there. There we go. Now, I love to use wooden spoons. There's just something so satisfying about using a wooden spoon here. So we're going to saute that garlic around in there. Get that nice and mixed in. Some nice extra virgin olive oil in the pan. Put the onions in and mix that all in there. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of basil. I can find it. Yeah. Just going to sprinkle a little sweet basil in there. I'm going to kind of wait for the onion to get transparent. That means it's kind of cooking in, and then a lot of these spices and things will kind of get infused into the oil. So infusion is really kind of sauteing things in oil so that the oil will eventually take on the characteristics and the flavors of the things you're sauteing in. And so I want this oil to be infused with basil and garlic and onion. Maybe a little bay leaf too. I'll put the bay leaf in there, get it all oiled up. Okay, now, gonna add the cilantro. Mix that all in like that. Excellent. You can see how that's kind of getting mixed in. You can see how high that flame is. It's not very high. I hope you can see that. A little unsteady there. Okay. And now, just add the celery and the carrots. We're going to put just a little bit of salt. I don't use a lot of salt, because I think if people want food salty, they can add salt at the table. But a little bit of salt when you're cooking does help the flavor a little. I have high blood pressure, so I can't eat a lot of salt. So I really, really watch it. Okay, so now you can see how beautiful that looks, and that nice colors and things like that. Take a little sip of coffee. Oh, here's the thing I found out this morning. I actually thought I was putting a piece of ginger in some hot water. Because this cup is black, it has coffee in it. And so what I did is I actually put a piece of ginger in my coffee, in my half a cup of coffee that I hadn't finished yet. And then I went to drink it after a while, and the coffee had taken on some of the characteristics of the ginger. And I said, wow, that's pretty neat. So you might try that sometime. Just take a little slice, just take a little bitty slice off the end, maybe about, maybe about a millimeter, and maybe about half that, and just drop it into your coffee and see what happens. You might like it. Okay, so we're cooking this stuff up. Saute, saute, saute. Oh, we're doing a saute. I know it's kind of, I hope not boring you while I'm waiting for this stuff to cook. I could do a little of my Swedish chef impression. Okay, so enough of that. More later. He's actually my hero. I think he's the best chef in the whole world. Okay, so we're doing this good now. Now we see that stuff here. So I'm going to heat this pot up right here. There. Yeah. Pot over to my right. You can see that. Okay. And now I'm going to put this stuff. Turn that off. And put this stuff. That down in the bottom there. Here we go. rinse this pan out with some water in it. I'm going to need to add water to that mix for when I put in the acorn squash. You hear that sizzling now. I love that sizzling sound. Okay? There you go. Okay, excellent, excellent. Yeah, I've kind of got a little soup base in there. Okay, now just a little bit of vino, a little bit of white wine. Actually, maybe I can just move this over to this burner. Down. Move it up. Okay. There we go. Excellent. Oh, you just gotta love it. Oh, you gotta love that flavor. You gotta love that smell. Oh, now, my family doesn't like pepper. I'm kind of the only one in the family that likes pepper, so I put pepper on afterwards. But if you wanted to, if you're so inclined, you could put some pepper in this mix. You could put a little cinnamon or maybe a little nutmeg. You know, whatever your pleasure. Acorn squash is a wonderful thing. It's nice and soft. It's even actually good. You just mash it up with a little butter and salt and pepper. It's delicious. So we're getting close now to where we're going to put that acorn squash in there. That's right. Okay. And so here we go. Scoop out some acorn squash. Actually, I'm going to leave myself a little bit for later. Yeah, just the way I told you. With a little butter and some salt and pepper. I'm not supposed to eat butter either. I mean, it's all these things that you're not supposed to eat. I mean, how many things are we just not supposed to eat, you know? So, we have to do some things, right? Okay, so now I put the squash in here. And I'm mixing all the other stuff in with the squash. Like that. I'm going to take that bay leaf out now. Okay. There you go. Okay. And what I'm going to do now, this handy dandy little masher. I'm just going to mash this stuff. Just mash, 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 mash. Now you don't have to do that, but kind of make it blend a little bit because actually later we're going to pop this into the blender. But you don't really have to because you can just mash it like this. And then you can add, people they add like heavy cream to this or half and half. Milk. I'm just going to put some milk in. Although I've got heavy cream. Try to keep this healthy and low fat. So I'm just going to put some low fat milk in. Now one of the things I do want to do a little bit of is to put some butter in there. Just a little bit of butter, not a bunch of butter. Okay. Now we're going to turn the heat down a little. I'm just start with this kind of bit. Oh man, oh that smells so good. Oh, that smells so good. So this is kind of, I don't want to burn my hands. Okay, so this is kind of what the mash looks like. Okay? Measures like that. Aha! How did that blender jar appear that way? Magic. Anyway, okay. So, as I was saying, mashing this stuff up here. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put about, let's see here. I got a measuring cup here, so I think I'm going to put just a cup of milk in. I'm going to put 1 cup in and see how that goes. You know, I read the recipes off the internet, but I actually wind up doing my own thing most of the time. I think with most recipes, if you can, you have to just see how it goes, you know. So here, I'm going to take my nice little wooden spoon. I'm going to put this milk, and I'm going to stir this milk in here, right? Just like that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's so good. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Just kind of stir that in there. I love to stir it with a wooden spoon. Wooden spoons are cool. Okay. Okay. There we go. Put that away. And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to put that into the blender, like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of water. Take just a little water here. The pot's still hot. So I can get all the good stuff out of this pan. Yeah, I'm going to get all that good stuff, because there's some stuff stuck to the pan here, and it's really good tasting. So you want to get all that good stuff out of the pan and into your soup mix. And this is just a little water. It's not going to make it too water, but it will extend the soup. And now what I'm going to do is, it's my handy Vitamix blender, like that. Now you can't see it, but I'm going to take it over here and do a little blending. Doesn't have to be very high. Okay, now that's all blended up. And what I'm going to do, turn that to the pan. See how that is? See how that's nice and thick? See how nice and thick that is? That's kind of how you want it. Okay? Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then we're just going to, I'm going to heat this up, and I'm just going to let it simmer. Here, let's take that and put that in there too. Let all those guys go. You know, I'm probably breaking all the rules for television, but anyway, this is YouTube, and this is informal, and I hope that all this needs to do now is simmer. Okay, and it'll be nice and warm. That milk back in the fridge. And it'll be a great soup. And what I would do is I would put it in a bowl, of course. Couldn't eat it with my hands, you know, it'd be kind of hard to eat the soup with your hands. It'd be hot. And if it wasn't hot, even if it wasn't hot, it would go through your fingers, you know. So it's probably better to have a bowl and a spoon. Hi. So our soup is ready. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of soup and put it into my bowl. All right, now take that there. And so one of the things you can do is you can take a little bit of sour cream and just put a kind of a nice dollop of sour cream on there. Or you can take some condensed milk, just a little, just a little bit, and squeeze just a little bit of condensed milk in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a little dash of cinnamon. Right there. There we go. And some black pepper. There you are. So we have the soup. And that. Mix it all together. I'll take a little bite. Oh, wow. Delicious. Oh. Highly recommended. Thank you for watching.